Hi, everyone, and welcome to our presentation. Today, we're going to be hearing from Andre Nunes, our head of product at OAT. He has 10 plus years of experience in product management, where he focuses on digital platform innovation and executes and delivers digital mobility strategies. At OAT, he is responsible for defining the TAO platform through tools and techniques such as design thinking, journey mapping, developing prioritization strategies to evolve the strongest ideas. And so today we're going to be discussing developing an accessible system for online human scoring. But before we get into our presentation, we just wanted to introduce ourselves and our company. So we are OAT, and our platform is the TAO assessment platform. And so we are an open source platform built on open standards, driving the digital transformation in education. So our mission is to advance assessment to empower today's learners and tomorrow's leaders. And to date, we have delivered 100 million tests in more than 30 languages across more than 160 countries worldwide.
Okay, great. Thank you, Sam. So get going and deep diving on the online scoring, online marking. Depend when where you are, you're going to understand with different names. How are at OAT tackling to build some systems using accessibility, right? Being compliant to the highest accessibility standards. So for us, everything starts with the understanding of the universal design. And this approach and this universal design was created in 1997 for North Carolina State University. Even though we can consider old, the definition is pretty accurate until today. So what we can understand, what is written here, I'm gonna read for you and try to emphasize what is most important for us. So the design of products and environments to be usable by all people to the great extent that possible, without the need for adaptation or specialized design. So this means that we are developing not different tools for different people that do have accessibility needs or special needs. We are designing one tool, and without thinking on creating a workaround, we are creating one unique tool for these two types of persona. Also, on the universal design, they are not dictating how or what should we do. They have created 7 principles to guide us to be mindful with other people. So, for example, flexibility is one of the principles that they are defending, and we truly believe we need to be flexible in any kind of development or even solutions that need to be accessible. And about solutions, getting a bit not yet on the software and the application world, let's look from a different angle how we do see these on the day-to-day, right? So this is one good example. On the right side, we can see here the European Convention Center in Luxembourg. And it's easy to see that they have created an elegant solution, right? So any kind of size of car or truck can go near to the door, right, the entrance door, and facilitating the access to the building. Whereas on the left side, we can see still an accessible, right, path. If we think from going to plan to point A to point B, this is still solving the need, right? But then it's easy to see that the image from the right side has been taught, you know, everything has been taught in the beginning, right, from scratch, and eventually the image on the left side is something that was retrofit. In our experience doing systems, we have done both scenarios, and I have to say that it's easier to do from scratch. But if you have a situation where you are, okay, I have my system and I would like to make accessible, do not be disencouraged to it, because if you are creating something, you can also adapt, you can also retrofit, and the work is not going to be as much as difficult as it sounds. It is still something that it can be done, and at the end of the day, you're also going to create something accessible. Okay, and some things that you need to think when developing a system. So usually we start with a lot of excitement, right? Let's do this project. Let's put the accessibility in the center. Let's think on it in all activities, and everything goes well in the beginning. And that, as we can see here on this left image here on the left side, yes, at the end of the project, at the end of the initiative, we didn't follow through, right? So it had compromised all the projects because of, at the end, the project or the initiative didn't follow through in the accessibility mindset with accessibility standards. So do follow through from the beginning to the end to ensure that you have an accessible platform. And another really important point is the user testing. Okay, you have to create an accessible platform, accessible content, but as well has to be usable, right? On the right side of this image here, you can see a well-designed solution, but it's not usable because we have a sign right in the middle of the path. So okay, if we consider from the technical aspect something which is accessible, is not yet usable. So put the user in the center, and making user testing, continuous user testing, it will guarantee that you have not only something which is accessible, but something that's usable by anyone. So two different concerns or things that you need to take care whenever you are developing a platform that has to be accessible. Okay, now you understood some tips and tricks, right? Some ideas to implement, and I would like to go a bit more on this and to present you the mindset you have to think, or you have to have when you are doing something with through the accessibility lens. So in this, I will try to make it accessible to you, and reading this image for you. So here you can see a person which is cleaning up the path, and he's saying that, okay, if I clean this first, more people will be able to access the building. However, since this has been created thinking on the universal design, the ramp here, if once this is clean, everyone could access the building without using the stairs. So this is an example of universal design where this ramp is representing. Okay, so once you clean the path, everyone could enter the building. And another thing that you need to think, and whenever you are doing this, users and adding and talking to them is really important, is the different scenarios that can make your application not accessible anymore. So for example, in this case, we had external factor, right? The snow that made and compromised all the accessibility of the building. But you can think about, okay, you as a user, right? You've been using mouse and you have never used keyboard to navigate and to access the content, but eventually you can break your arm, and by that moment you change your scenario, and the solution has to be still flexible to adapt to this new condition. So this is another catch, another thing that you need to have whenever you are developing an accessible platform. Okay, now you understood what are the, the concerns or what are the mindset that you need to have when developing. Let's deep diving on our solution, which is TAO, and more specifically on TAO Grader, which is our product that do online marketing. Before deep diving on TAO Grader, I would like to make sure that you understand our ecosystem. When we talk about TAO, we are talking about the entire life cycle of assessment. So if we would have a starting point, because the things is connected, the end and the start is connected, let's think about the creation of the question. So in our platform, we are enabling authors and teachers to create questions using QTI, one of the standards. This is the reason that Sam mentioned at the beginning that we are open standards, and we do believe in these. Also, after you create your questions items, you do the test assembly. After that, you define who is going to take your test, your students, and then you do the delivery of the test through the delivery engine that we have. Once the test takers, students, take the test under or not supervision of proctors, we can, if your test has an open-ended question, we can start doing the grading, human grading for those questions, for those responses. And then once we have the feedback loop, we can have a better design on our program. So this is the way that we are linking all the steps. And as you can see here, we are going to be talking about this, not just a part of the system, just a small part of the iceberg. So going forward, what we're going to be showing you today is the TAO Grader user journey. I'm not going to show everything from creating the questions, creating the items, and assembling the tests. I will start from taking the test quickly, just to show the capability from the student point of view. Then we are going to go and discuss, okay, how can the school administrator manage this, how is going the program in terms of the online manual scoring. And then we are going to score, we are going to review, and then after everything is consolidated and the students can have their own results. Great. Things that I'd like you to be in mind when I'm presenting here. We are talking and showing you a platform that is WCAG compliant. We are showing you a platform that has a flexibility to be responsive, to adapt to any device you have. Of course, we're going to go beyond of closed questions, how we can grade open-ended questions, and how we can ensure quality in your process with the role of the reviewers that are going to be checking what is the score from the markers. Okay, so let's deep diving on our system. I'm gonna change the tab, and here is the entrance door of the TAO Grader. And I'm gonna log in as administrator. Oops. And here I have upfront create one project, scoring project, that's going to be for this demonstration. As you can see here, in our platform, we can have multiple projects going on the same time. But for this example, we are gonna deep diving only on this. Just a quick heads up in terms of what I have configured here. For this demo, we don't have start and end date. It means that the scorers, as soon as we have something to score, they can start doing their job. We are going to be assigning based on subject. I'm gonna show more in details what does it mean. And we are gonna use the strategy read behind. That means that every task, every score will be reviewed by someone else. Hey, Andre, do I need to review everything? No, you can configure the sampling ratio. If you want to just 20% of your markers being reviewed by another person, then you can select it. For this example, I'm gonna put 100%. So every time one score does one review, we are gonna be doing one score doing the score, we are gonna be doing the review. Okay, going to the view of the student. So here I create one English test, okay? And I'm gonna give three different responses for this open-ended, in this case, essays that I need as a student to complete. So the first one is to give the newspaper's angle of this fact. I'm just copy and paste, right? Also, another one here. And finally, the last question. Since this is the goal is not to deep diving on our test runner engine, so solution. So I'm not gonna go through different types of questions, but we have 17 types of questions that you can be using. I'm going to end the test. From the student point of view, my journey ended. And of course, I would like to receive my results, but in a different way. And then, as part of an administrator, I can understand what is going on with this project. So in this project, I configure and link this test. So anytime that a student finishes the test, we are going to receive their responses here. And every scorer or reviewer that is entitled to score English items, they will be assigned automatically to it. In this case, in this example, I have two users enrolled. One is Andre Grader and another one Andre Reviewer. And we are going to log with different personas for you to see what is the difference. And you can see at any moment how they are doing, how are they progressing in their duties, right? So you can understand. In this case here, the guys haven't started the job yet, so I'm gonna log in with their own account. So let me log out. Okay, so then now I'm going to log as a grader to you to see how is the experience of the grader. In this case, I'm just assigned to this project, so I don't see other projects, but as a grader, I can have multiple projects that I need to score. For this demonstration, I have 3 responses. As you just saw, as a test taker student, I was responding. The first one is the newspaper. In here, I can, in this case, for this specific item, when I was authoring, I just create from the scale from 1 to 4. But as an author, you can create your own scale. In this case, I'm gonna quickly grade everything with 1. And I'm gonna go through the experience of the grader. As a grader, you can highlight the question, the response of the students with 3 different colors. This can help you to identify easily, for example, grammatical errors. So grammar errors. So you can use in the way that you want this highlighting. We saw in terms of the users using it, that is really useful for them to, okay, I can count how many marks I have in the response, and then I can do the accurate marking and the scoring. Okay, so this is the last one. And once I am ready, before submitting, I can easily see all the work that I did. I can, if I have more response from different students, I can navigate easily through the overview panel. But for this example, let's send the scores and let's finish my job as a grader. As you may remember, we configured for having 100% sampling in terms of the reviewing. So this is not yet finished. We need to finish by reviewing all the responses. And then I'm going to log here now as a reviewer and show you what I have to do as reviewer. So in here, again, I'm just assigned to this project. I have 3 things to do, left to do, and I'm gonna enter to this project. So then I can see who has given the first grading. So in this case, TAO Grader, and we can see what he did in terms of the scoring. And you can either confirm or override the scoring. In this case, for this grammatical accuracy, the final score is gonna be 2 because the reviewer subscribed the previous scoring. And of course, as a reviewer, you have the same capability of highlighting as the grader has as well. So let's move forward. Oops. For this one, I'm gonna select. I'm gonna agree with everything. Everything is correct. And then I'm gonna send the score. And from my point of view, as a reviewer, I finish my job. Whenever we have more graders finishing their parts, I can receive more things to do. In this case, we just take one test with 3 open-ended responses, and then questions, and then we just have 3 things to evaluate. As administrator, you can see that at this moment, this has been done 100%. There is no more things left to do. But again, as soon as one test taker finish their delivery, the test, we're going to have more things to do from both scorer and reviewer. As you can see, you can check the granularity of each user, what they have done, what they are left to do, and in this case, since we finish, we can see that they finish all the job they have. Okay, so the application and the product has much more possibilities. In this demo, we just go to strict to a subset of features. If you would like to have more information, let's talk, right? Let's talk. And thank you very much for your time. Don't hesitate to add me on LinkedIn if you would like to know more. Yes, or contact us through our email. Thank you.